Good morning. This is the weather briefing for July 5th, covering today into early next week. My name is Alec Butner, lead meteorologist here at the National Weather Service in Wakefield. Really three big items we're watching here. The first item is just the heat continues into today, starting to wind down compared to what we saw the past 3 or 4 days here, but still looking at heat advisories area wide this afternoon, uh, peaking around 105 heat indices pretty much the entire area, unless you're at the beach this afternoon. Uh, Heat continues to trend down as we head through the week, becoming just more typical of what we see in July versus this extreme heat we've been dealing with the past few days. The second main item is just the other potential for more of those thunderstorms this afternoon, this evening, likely developing around a similar time to what we saw yesterday, 2, 3 o'clock, and spreading into the area. Again, similar to yesterday as well, the highest risk will be those areas that are roughly north and northwest of Richmond, with the damaging winds being the main threat. And finally, we are watching just that potential as well with the storms in the area for some localized flooding today. And then as we get into tomorrow, might be a little more widespread, might be a bit more of a flooding risk area wide with the rain and the storms tomorrow, which I'll talk about in a moment. Just a reminder that also the Wakefield radar continues to be out of service throughout this weekend. Hopefully, it gets fixed sometime early this week. But for now, use surrounding radars with storms forming north of the area, west of the area. The Blacksburg radar, Sterling, Virginia radar, and Dover, Delaware radar are your best bet for today. For today's severe weather potential, again, the most likely timing for any strong to severe storms generally forming after about 2 or 3 o'clock north and west of the area, spreading into the area around or after that time. Continuing through the evening hours, should be winding down by about 9 or 10 o'clock at the absolute latest across eastern parts of the area. Generally slow moving storms again today, 10 to 20 miles per hour, moving towards the east or the east northeast today. Strongest strongest storms are likely again north of the Richmond area, roughly 64 and north, including Northern Neck and portions of Maryland, Eastern Shore, as well as Louisa and Fluvanna County or northwestern counties as well. Damaging wind again are the main threat today, along with just that potential for decent lightning and localized heavy rain with the storms as well. Max wind gust, it could be 60 to even up to 70 miles per hour again today. Not expecting any tornadoes or hail with today's storms. For tomorrow, we also have another severe weather threat, a marginal risk for, again, most of the forecast area, minus some of the far eastern and northeastern portions of the area. Storm timing tomorrow, very similar to today and yesterday as well, roughly 2 to 10 p.m. Maybe a bit slower storms tomorrow, maybe a little more widespread as well. So we'll have more of a heavy rain flooding risk tomorrow compared to the past couple of days. But the primary severe weather potential again tomorrow will be that damaging wind threat as well as frequent lightning. Stepping into the heavy rainfall potential, would like to point out that for Monday, the Weather Prediction Center does have much of the eastern half of the area highlighted in a slight risk for excessive rain, meaning that there's at least the potential for a scattered flash flooding, especially in the urban or the poor drainage areas tomorrow, with the more widespread storms and maybe slower moving storms bringing that heavy rain potential. We'll be watching, looking at least maybe putting out a flood watch for portions of the area for Monday as well. For today and looking ahead to Tuesday, more of just a localized flash flooding threat with any of these storms that set up. Again, especially if it goes over one of the urban areas or one of the wrong spots today or Tuesday. Storm timing again today, just breaking it down hour by hour. You're really picking up after 2, 3 o'clock across the west and northwestern parts of the area, making its way further to the east later into the evening and should be coming to an end by 9, 10 o'clock, with maybe just isolated chances after that time. Tonight, very similar tomorrow, but we will notice there is a higher chance. Some places are looking at 70 to 80% chances of showers and storms tomorrow. So more widespread tomorrow, bringing that potential for some heavier rain and potential flash flooding as well with the more widespread storms. Finally, just didn't want to forget, we do again have that heat advisory for today, pretty much area wide, just excluding some of the Virginia Eastern Shore and the beaches. But from noon to 8 p.m. today, max heat index values hovering right about 105 degrees or higher. A little bit, I guess, quote unquote, cooler than the past few days, but still quite uncomfortable. The heat threat does start to go back down, like I mentioned earlier. Um, by Monday, tomorrow, we might have at least some areas across maybe North Carolina and far southern Virginia that will be seeing heat indices around 105. But otherwise, as we get into at least Tuesday and Wednesday, more typical summertime weather, highs in the lower 90s, maybe some heat indices around 100, but no advisories anticipated. We start to heat back up again later in the week, but it's still a bit too soon to see if we'll have any advisories during that time frame. Breaking down the daily forecast, again, you can see today mid to upper 90s and then diminishing at least through the early to midweek portions before maybe another warm up by Thursday, Friday, Saturday of the week. If you're heading to the beaches, low rip current risk at all area beaches, likely continuing through at least the middle of this week, if not longer. And for any mariners, um, fairly low, benign conditions on the bay and the ocean for the next few days. You might see a little bit of an increase in a south wind tonight into early Monday morning, but should stay below small craft advisory criteria. That is all I have here with the weather briefing. We will have our usual Monday morning briefing tomorrow starting at 11 a.m. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us or leave them in the chat box here, and I will get to them. Otherwise, have a nice Sunday, and we will talk again tomorrow. Thank you.